Hey y'all, what's up? I came to you with the story time, girl, telling you about my looking for love in all the wrong places. Yes, honey, it was me. I was looking for love in all the wrong places when I went online to find somebody to talk to, a companion. And I did. I found this nice guy. He had so much class. I liked the way his profile was reading. I liked what he had on and his pictures and all that. He had like 3 or 4 pictures. We were admiring each other pictures back and forth. We were talking back and forth for about a week until he asked for my telephone number. And I gave it to him. And boy, the first conversation, he's like, I know it's late. I gotta go to work in the morning. I said, I have to go at about 10. He said, I have to be there at 5. Well, I mean, that man didn't get off the phone till about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. And from then on, every day we were like kids. Couldn't wait on all my breaks or every chance he called me if he can talk to me or not. I'll call him back. And then he decided he wanted to come and take me to brunch. He wanted to come early as he could on his Saturday off. I was off on Saturday too. So I hops in the car. It looks gloomy outside, but I didn't know it was going to rain right away. So when we get to the restaurant, I met him there because I wasn't trusting of him coming to get me and me having to ride in his car or not. So I had him come get me, and we went to the restaurant. And I told him, I said, I'm going to sit in the car for a while because I didn't bring my umbrella. I said, I didn't think it was going to rain so soon. I said, and let's let it slack up. And he said, I have an umbrella. We can go in if you want to. And he came, and the first thing I noticed, his jacket, he had on a little blazer, leather-like blazer. Had on blue jean shirt, had on blue jeans, had on some nice boots, matching his jacket and his belt. He had on jewelry. His shirt was open a little bit. I could see some of his hairs on his chest, which I like. And then he had a chain on with a cross, and he had chain bracelets on his arms. Oh, he looked nice. And I was like, man, I was eating it up. I was like, he looked real nice. He was getting me out the car. He closed the door behind us. And we went on walking fast because I had on jean also. We looked like we dressed alike that day. I had on blue jean top, blue jeans, and boots, and a leather jacket. We gets in the restaurant. um, I wanted to go wash my hands. And so when I came back, she was like, do you know what your wife will have? I heard her. And he was like, I don't know. Oh, here she comes right here. Whatever. You could tell, ask her what she wanted to drink. And so I wanted Arnold Palmer. That's what I drink all the time. But I wanted to drink also, but I was going to wait a little bit until I get my food so I can have something on my stomach because it was early. And we got water and Arnold Palmer. I did. So he and we chopped it up, talking and stuff. And then when our food came, we were comfortable enough to each other to where I was wanting to eat off his plate because I wanted to be greedy because he had something I wanted to taste. And with my steak, he wanted to try my steak too. He said it was looking good. So we switched off eating each other food. And I was like, and when we got done eating, we was just sitting there talking. And I was like, well, I don't want to interrupt such a good time, but I said time's moving. I said we've been sitting here for the longest. I said I gotta make my way down to go get me some makeup from the MAC counter at the mall. And I said I wanted to stop and see if I could find these bracelets. I said Alex and Ani. I said I bought these when I was at home. I'm from Southern Illinois. He was from Chicago. He lived in Rock Hill. I live in Columbia. No. And he was like, you mind if I tag along? And I was like, no, I don't mind because I really wasn't ready to let you go. I said, because you got to ride so long. And so we went into the mall. We was, all over the place. And every time I picked up something, he wanted to pay for it for me. And I was like, no. And he was like, please let me pay for it or whatever. That's the least I could do. He said, I don't mind at all. And I was like, well, I mean, I let him pay for it. He was like, is there anything else you want to buy? He's like, I got all kinds of credit cards. I mean, he had himself together. He drove a BMW or Mercedes. I had a Camry at the time, but I know, after that visit, we part ways and we went on or whatever. I hugged him bye or whatever, and he was like, after that, he would call me and ask me, can he come after he get off work if I was at home that day. And I was like, yeah, we walked around Walmart, we walked around Gorman. I mean, was it a Gorman's? We'll walk around different stores, I should say that. And be talking and shopping a little bit or whatever. And he was like, man, he was like, I'm ready to go chill with you, go to the movies or something, so we can have like a little intimate spot, and so I can hold your hand and all that, because we were holding hands. We was at this stage where we were holding hands, we would hug a little bit, kiss a little bit. I mean, because he was coming so frequently, and then I started feeling bad that he was coming so much, and I wasn't going to his house at all. Because I had one car and I was sharing it with my two adult daughters and my baby girl, which was in high school, 12th grade. She was graduating 12th grade. And I told him, I said, I can't leave them without a car. I said, to come to visit you all that way. I said, better yet, if you don't mind, I said, my daughter could probably bring me to you, and if I can probably stay until the next morning. He was like, honey, you can come and stay as long as you want to. He said, I have to go to work. I mean, I was on vacation for 2 weeks. And he was like, you can stay as long as you want to. You can stay your whole vacations if you want to. And I would love that you will. And he was like, my dad stayed next door, either in back. He said, I have 3 cars and my work truck at home. He said, I want all 3 cars to be there. You could drive, pick whatever you want to drive. You can go out to eat as much, 2 times or whatever, however many times it takes for you to, when I get home or whatever. You can go shopping, whatever you want to do. And I was like, okay. I said, next weekend, I'm going to come to you. So this day I get up all giddy. I was so happy that I was finally going to have some alone time, some intimate time, but not sexual time, because I told him I wasn't ready for that. But we was going to go, watch TV, snuggle together and stuff like that. I was picking out my pajamas that weren't sexy at all, the plaid ones with the t-shirt style, because it was cool outside too. And I didn't take no gowns. I packed all the stuff up, all the stuff that wasn't provocative. I didn't want no provocative clothes on. I didn't want nothing. I didn't want to give him no indication that I wanted to have sex. I wanted everything about him and I to be organic. I wanted to be neutral as possible. If it happened, it happened. I wasn't gonna be forced to have no sex with nobody I didn't know, but I was getting to know. And he said he felt the same way. But this particular day, I got up early. I packed the bag. I put all my toiletries in there or whatever. I did that real good. But when it came to me getting dressed to go see him, and I didn't want to be too sexy. I didn't want to be no over spillage out of my shirts when it came to my breast. I didn't want it hugging my curves, my hips or nothing. So I was having a hard time. My daughters kept on wondering, like, I thought you said you wanted to be down there by 1 or 2, Mama, but it's going on 5 o'clock. And I said, I know. I said, he keep calling me too, asking me, am I on the way? I said, because it's getting dark. I'm not sure I'm coming. And I said, I don't know what's going on. I keep sweating. So I said, I need to sit down often. And so I was sitting down and I was fanning with my little fan I got from Dollar Tree. And I was like, Lord, what is it? If you got something you need me to know, please reveal it right now, Lord, right now. So I got up again and I was like, okay, I'm going for the outfit. The outfit I'm thinking about in my head while I'm sitting down, but I get up. And I heard something say, big as daylight. Like it was something talking to me, and it wasn't nobody but God. And say, Google him. And I was like, Google him. You know what? I didn't Google him. Let me Google him. And I Googled him. Mm-mm-mm. Boy, my world was upside down. Ooh, my world came tumbling down, honey. Literally, I shook like a leaf on a tree, all in the inside, my stomach, everything I wanted. I had eaten or drank, wanted to come up. I was bucking, my knees was bucking. I had went down to the floor with one of my knees, and then I got back up and kept on wanting to like lose. I kept losing my balance. So I took a leaping start to my bed. And when I got to my bed, I just couldn't stand myself, honey. I had to lay down for a little bit. Then I got chilly and I covered up. And when I covered up, my daughter came in and she was like, "What are you doing, lady? I thought you were supposed to be gone." And I said, "I ain't going like that." And then I said, "I ain't going nowhere with him." She was like, "What's wrong with you? What'd he do?" And I was like, I gave her the phone and let them look. And instantly everybody got scared. Because I Googled him and he came up. The big, heinous crime. And it was like, "Oh, wow, Mom, I hope you did you let him in the house?" And I was like, "No, I didn't let him in the house. He was in the driveway, though, but he do know where we stay." And I said, "I am so scared." And they was like, "We were all scared." I made sure my thing was on the side of me. It was ready and other stuff or whatever. Locking doors and putting couches all behind the doors and stuff. I was too embarrassed to even call and tell anybody about it because I was online. You know, everybody making a big deal about you being online and meeting people online and all that stuff. So I didn't dare want to tell nobody that I was online meeting nobody. I'm still like opening up to that. I think I just told my sister about 2 weeks ago. But what I read I was 43 or 44 at the time I'm meeting him. He was like 50. But when the incident happened, he was 18 years old, and so was the person. She was 16 to 18 years old. He was walking and spotted a girl, and he chased her down in the alley or whatever, and he R-worded her. He attempted to unalive her, beating till he tried to unalive her. He left her and he R-worded her. All in Chicago when he was 18 years old. And it blew my mind. I could not believe that the person that I liked and I just knew was going to be with him, I couldn't believe that he was capable of doing what that article said that he was doing. I couldn't believe it. I made sure that was him. I made sure the spelling was good. It was him. I could not believe it. So he rang my phone off the hook when it started to get dark, and I told him to not ever call me again. I said, I read about what happened. I said, I saw it. I said, you disclosed that. You told me everything else. I said, everything else I found out about you panned out. All that was true, but you failed to tell me that. I said, I don't want to ever talk to you again. You ever get caught over here or whatever, I'm going to call the police. Please don't call me anymore. I'm going to block you after this. Don't get caught over my house because I'm going to be forced to do some things to you that I don't want to. I said, because I am afraid. I let him know. And he was like, just please let me listen. Listen to me. He said, I was young when it happened. I was young, kept saying that. And I said, I know, but still, you hit it. And I said, I just can't believe I was almost in the house with somebody that was capable of doing something like that. I was like, leave me alone. Stop calling me. Don't call me no more. I hung up the phone. Probably about a week or two, I was thinking about him. So I went through his Facebook and all that. I looked at all his pictures and all that stuff of his ex-wife, his kid. She was a school teacher. He was a trucker, and he did heating and cooling on the side. And they had a nice life, looked like, for just the pictures and stuff like that, nice home and all that, nice cars. All that stuff panned out, but he did not disclose that. And had he disclosed that, I wouldn't have gone because I don't deal like that. I'm scary. I'm scary, and honey, no. He can't come back from that when it comes to stuff like that. I can't change my mind about how I felt about that. I wouldn't be looking at him. I wouldn't trust him ever. So I mean, it was best to leave it like it was because he couldn't get the best of me, and I wouldn't let him give me anything, because I knew that. But I'm done with the story. But when God gives you an eerie feeling about somebody or whatever, check it out. When he give you discernment, check it out. Cause honey, he don't play. He don't play. And if you listen to your body, your mind, your spirit, or whatever, honey, it tells you about these people before you actually get to know them. And that's serious. I have listened to my mind since. I have gone. I made sure I listened to my inner self or whatever. If something tell me not to do it, something not to go anywhere, I listen from now on, from that experience. That was like 6 or 7 years ago. But I listen now. I listen really good. But you all start to listen too. Pay attention to your surroundings. Pay attention to the people that you come encountered with. Because it could have been drastic for me. Even though I don't think he had those intentions for me. I think he genuinely liked me. I felt like he did, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure because I don't know what's going on. I'm not a clinical psychologist. I can't tell you what he thought personally, but thankful. I'm thankful for God, for my discernment, for the clue he's given me, or what he gave me to, the understanding or whatever to do what I do. When I look people up, I normally look them up in the beginning. I don't know how I let him slide. I don't know how I did that, but I pay attention now to people. Well, I won't keep y'all. I'm tired. It's time. It's about 3 o'clock in the morning. I need to lay myself down. And I will call y'all back when it's time. When I get ready to get back on here, I'll call y'all back. And you have a good night. Have a good night. And remember, discernment is something else. Listen to your instinct. You have a good night.